George! George, are you in there? Wake up, George!
Who is it? Benjamin, what's wrong? It's nearly midnight.
George, do you hear anything?
Hear anything? No, nothing.
That's the point. The engines have stopped.
Stopped. By God, I think you're right.
Wake up! Wake up!
Mr. Etches, why have we stopped?
I couldn't say, Mr. Guggenheim, but I don't suppose it's anything much.
Mr. Etches, is something wrong?
I don't think so, madame. Just following orders. Wake up! Wake up!
We grazed it below the waterline on the starboard side.
How bad has it been?
I don't know yet. All stations, this is the bridge. Damage report. The exact time of contact was 11:40 p.m. One of us should enter it in the log.
Well, if we only grazed it, it can't be that bad.
Then we've nothing to worry about, have we?
Report, Mr. Murdoch.
We've struck an iceberg, sir. Starboard side. We don't know yet the extent of the damage, but I've taken the liberty of rousing the passengers.
I want them on deck and wearing life preservers. At the very least, they could use a drill. We've never had one, have we?
Passengers, proceed at once to the salon. Please bring your life preservers and await further instructions.
George, you should see all the ice on deck. There must be a ton of it.
Be a sport, John, and fetch a piece off for my drink.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention? The captain would be most grateful if you would all accompany me to the Grand Salon. And please dress warmly.
They're taking water in boiler rooms 4, 5, and 6, sir. In 6, the water's already up to their knees.
Close the watertight doors and see that the pumps are activated. Then rouse the carpenter and have him sound the ship.
It's all done, sir.
Our position, Mr. Murdoch. Mr. Murdoch, our position!
Latitude 40 degrees 44 minutes north, longitude 50 degrees 24 minutes west, sir.
Inform the radio room. For God's sake! Mr. Murdoch! Let go of the helm. We're dead in the water.
I'm sorry, Captain.
Second class passengers, proceed to the first class salon. Please bring your life preservers and await further instructions.
Steward, why is the ship stopped?
I understand an iceberg has scratched some of her new paint, and the captain doesn't want to go on till she's fixed up, good as new.
I think I'll stay in my cabin and finish my book.
I'm afraid you'll have to go to the first class Grand Salon right away, madame. The captain's orders.
Oh, come on, Alice. Here's your chance to mingle with the swells.
Please, you must get your life preservers. There's no time to lose.
Edgar, I can't go up there looking like this. I have to fix my face first.
The boat will be fixed before then, Alice.
Why have we stopped? I want an immediate explanation.
We've struck an iceberg, Mr. Dismay.
That was pretty damn careless, wasn't it?
We're trying to assess the damage, sir.
Damage? What damage?
We're taking on water in the boiler rooms. We've closed the emergency doors, and I'm quite certain that everything is under control.
In that case, I trust you'll have us underway as soon as possible.
Mr. Andrews is making a complete inspection, and if you'll just be patient, sir, you'll have his report the moment it's available.
In the meantime, Captain, I see no need to alarm the passengers.
Third class passengers, fore and aft of the well deck, please find your life preservers and await further instructions.
What is it? What's going on? There's this terrible scraping noise and then we just stopped. What are we supposed to do now?
Well, I'm going upstairs and have a look.
You'll stay down here like you are told. Go on.
Yes, Mr. Andrews.
There's a series of small gases just below the waterline, stretching 300 feet along her starboard side. There's water in the forepeak in the 1, 2, and 3 holds, in the mail room and 3 of the boiler rooms. In all, 6 of her 16 compartments have been breached.
But that's all right. You assured us those compartments were watertight.
She was designed to stay afloat with any 3 flooded, perhaps even 4, but certainly not 6.
Andrews, what are you saying?
Titanic is sinking, Mr. Ismay.
Nonsense. Nonsense. God himself could not sink this ship.
How long has she got, Mr. Andrews?
An hour and a half, Captain. 2 at the most.
disorienting being here. Recently awakened from a dream. How the lights burn every crystal bright as a star. Dressed in your pajamas in the Grand Salon. Looks to be bizarre in the extreme. Things would improve if the steward opens the bar. Oh, it's a memory I'll want to keep. Now I would like to go back to sleep. Dressed in your pajamas in the Grand Salon, wondering if things are what they seem. Can you be sure, do you ever know where you are?
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The captain would appreciate it if you were all actually wearing your life preservers.
Mr. Etches, over here,
I'll
Mr.
be
Etches.
right with you, Mr. Astor.
Please, Mr. Etches, what the devil is going on?
Tell me straight, man. Are we in any danger?
Danger, Mr. Guggenheim. On this ship. Mr. Astor, please, your life belt. Mr. Guggenheim, please put it on now. Captain's orders. Ladies and gentlemen, wear your life belts. Mrs. Widener, if you would, ma'am. Mr. Thayer, we must insist now. It's a mere formality. There is no cause for concern. We'll be on our way. A minor delay now. A simple precaution. A moment of rest. We'll be on our way. We're hardly need say now. In a moment or two, she'll be right again, traveling west.
See here, Mr. Etches. I demand to know exactly what's happening.
Well, the latest word, sir, is that she seems to have damaged one of her wing propellers, and we could be delayed for an entire day, sir.
I don't like the way this sounds.
Not a bit, not a bit, not a little bit. We spent 1,800 pounds. Not a bit, not a bit, not a little bit.
This is not the sort of the voyage we paid for. I demand to know what the ship is delayed for right now. How could this ever have come to pass?
Christ! Look who's here, it's the second class.
Look, everyone who's anyone is here.
You're the only person here I don't recognize.
Everything is gorgeous in the Grand Salon, stunningly appointed for the cream. Thousands of bucks get to trip deluxe without par.
Dressed in your pajamas in the
please,
Grand
your
Salon.
life belts.
Seems to be
Mr.
bizarre,
Guggenheim,
please
please put it on now.
Lights
It's a mere
burn every crystal
formality.
bright as a
There's no
star.
On our way. Mr. Guggenheim, please upstairs now. Miss Widener, if you would, ma'am. It's a mere formality. There you are. We'll be on our way.
Jim Farrell, are you down there? It's blocked up here, we can't get through. What the hell are we supposed to do? Jim Farrell, where have you gotten to?
Over here, Kate. Look here, Kate. There's water running on the
flossy coming underneath the door, and I think behind it there's lots more. It's 2 feet deep in the men's dormitory. The boat's sinking.
What are we supposed to do then? Drown with all them other rats?
Don't be daft. There's lifeboats. They're up there. I seen them in a snapshot.
Me too, Kate. Me three, Kate. How the hell do we get up there? How the hell do we get through that gate? How long are we supposed to wait? What the hell is looking out for us?
What the hell are you people doing down here? Don't you know the boat's on our way down?
Who are you then?
Frederick Barrett, Stoker. Look, we gotta get up to those lifeboats.
What do you think we're trying to do, man?
We're goners for sure if we can't get to those lifeboats.
We'll have to find another way, all right?
What's the way? I never see no other way.
I know one. I snuck up to the radio room yesterday and I didn't get caught either.
How can such a terrible thing happen to such a marvelous ship? Yes, a marvelous ship.
Hurry up before we all drown.
You wait and see. We're gonna end up having to swim to America.
Ladies and gentlemen, this way, please. We're headed for the boat deck.
Not so fast, Alice.
Oh, don't dawdle, Edgar. I want to be sure we're in the same lifeboat as the Astors. Benjamin, I'm afraid.
Relax, my dear. This ship could run into 100 icebergs, and we wouldn't feel it.
Oh, I've never been in an open boat in my entire life. Last week in Vienna, a fortune teller told me to beware of the water.
Charles, promise me we'll stay together no matter what.
I promise, darling.
As long as there's heat and light, I'm staying right where we are.
Oh, my diamonds! I forgot my diamonds!
Never mind, Maddie. I'll buy you much better ones when we get to New York.
Reminds me of the time I was on the China Sea during the Boxer Rebellion of 1900, when our ship was attacked by a godless horde of Malay pirates.
If anything should happen to me, I'd be grateful if you deliver this message to my sister in Ohio.
I'm sure you'll be fine, Mr. Rogers.
I count things, ma'am. I count cards, and I count lifeboats. There aren't enough. I want my sister to know I was aboard this ship.
But your name will be on the passenger list, Mr. Rogers.
My actual name is J. Yates.
The famous card shopper. But I won several $100s from you.
Our game was interrupted.
Captain.
Yes, Mr. Andrews.
I'm sure it hasn't escaped your notice, sir, that there are an excess of 2,200 souls on this ship.
I'm well aware of that.
And room for less than 1,000 in the lifeboats.
I didn't design this ship, Mr. Andrews.
And I didn't instruct the management on the number of boats.
Evidently, 20 boats were enough to satisfy the line. How many would we need to save every man, woman, and child aboard?
54, but the line felt that anything in excess of 20 would have taken too much deck space away from the first class. And that means well over half of us are going to die in approximately 90 minutes.
Not if a ship arrives.
Do you know of one?
I'm just on my way to find out.
Captain! All first and second class passengers are proceeding to the boat deck as ordered. Third class is being assembled below on the well deck, awaiting instructions.
Captain, I don't think the passengers and crew fully comprehend their predicament yet. You'll have to tell them, of course.
Tell them what, Mr. Andrews? That more than 1,200 of them are dead already? I think not, sir. There'd be general panic. They'd kill each other in order to survive.
Awaiting instructions, Captain.
What? I want you on top, in charge of loading the boats.
But the third class passengers, sir, they're all down below.
That's not your concern, Mr. Lightoller. Carry on.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Are you taking it upon yourself to decide who lives and who dies? I'd remind you that while you are captain, you are not hired to play God.
Then let it be God who decides.
It would appear that God's already leaning towards the first class.
How so?
They are the closest to the lifeboats, aren't they?
Then perhaps he'll even the score by sending us a ship.
CQD, Titanic, CQD, situation critical. Repeat, situation critical.
Radio man, have you reached any ships?
Can't you see I'm busy? Go bother the captain.
This is the captain!
Sorry, sir.
Sit down, Mr.
Bride, sir.
Sit down, Mr. Bride.
Yes, sir.
And continue!
Yes, sir.
Have you reached any ships in the immediate vicinity?
607, sir. The closest seems to be Carpathia, a Cunard liner.
I know Carpathia, Mr. Bride.
They acknowledged the CQD at 11:58 p.m., saying they've turned and are coming hard.
How far is she?
58 miles, sir.
That's more than 4 hours.
Carpathia can't be the only ship in the vicinity, Mr. Bride.
There was one other, sir. The Californian. Her signal was much stronger than the others. I'd put within 10 miles. But since the accident, she hasn't responded.
Why not?
I don't know, sir.
EJ, you have to do something.
What do you suggest, Mr. Dismay?
We need another ship here immediately.
I'm afraid the nearest one is 4 hours away.
4 hours? But we'll be on the bottom by then.
What about the Californian? You said she might be close by.
I'm sure she is, but still no response.
Why not? You must demand a response.
Those smaller ships only carry one radioman, sir. He must have signed off and gone to bed.
Well, then keep trying, for God's sake!
There's a new distress signal. SOS. It's hardly ever been used before. It's easy to read in the CQD.
Try anything you like, Mr. Bride. You must rouse that ship.
SOS. Titanic. SOS. Situation critical. Repeat. Situation critical. Come in, Californian. Where are you, old man? Where the hell do you answer?
Surely something can be done to help us.
Thousands on board, trusting and warm, roused from their sleep, sent up above, unsinkable ship. What is she now? What is she now?
Possible she won't go down. Possible she'll stay afloat. Possibly all this could come to an end on a positive note.
Not unless a ship could fly. Not since we all sprout wings. Honestly, sir, I have built her from scratch, and I know certain things.
If you know so much, why didn't you know to prevent this? What's to become of us all now that Providence sent this? This is your work, Mr. Andrews. You have done us in. Where's her leak, poop bulkheads? Where's her double skin? Not your job if someone should take the blame. It is you. You.
Innocent folk held in our care, living their lives, dreaming their dreams, dreaming their dreams.
Possibly a ship will come. Possibly we'll all be saved.
Damn it, sir, listen, we're hemorrhaging fast. It's our hull that's been staved.
Couldn't you design it right? Whoever heard of steel that whips?
Ismay, I'm just in the business of building. It's God who sinks ships.
There stands the captain who sailed us straight into disaster.
Oh, now it's the captain's turn, pray, who urged him to go faster. Well then, thank you, Mr. Ismay, for your contribution. Now please pray for some miraculous solution. Your timing is perfect, so help us, please, if you can.
Who called for speed and to break every record? Who had to keep all the millionaires happy?
How dare you, Smith? I will not stand here indicted. Who ignored warnings of icebergs when sighted? Whoso refused to extend up the bulkheads.
You, sir, to give the first class bigger staterooms.
And who undermined the position of captain.
And who took a course to go north for the season.
And who kept insisting we land ever sooner.
And who should have posted for lookouts in darkness. Who did it? Who did it? Who did it? Who did it? Who did it?
Possibly the Lord will act.
Possibly he will provide.
And indicate how our unthinkable fate can be somehow denied. Somehow denied.
Your work, no one else's.
My doing, no one else's.
There's only one captain, and I was in charge. This is my ship, no one else's.
Women and children who commence boarding the lifeboat.
Men will please stand back.
You and I are getting in the lifeboat. Father will be staying here a while. It'll be like rowing in the Serpentine. Come along now, let us have a smile.
Go along with Mother to the lifeboat. Don't even say it, I'll be fine. I'll collect you both tomorrow morning. You and this beloved son of mine.
Madam, step this way into the lifeboat. Mr. Strauss, by all means, take a place.
No, I will not go before the younger men. Go, Ida, you must go now.
What about you?
Ida, please, I'm telling you to get on the lifeboat.
I refuse!
Refuse? How can you refuse? After 40 years, you cannot refuse.
I'm sorry, Isidore, but after 40 years, how can I leave you now?
Because you must be saved.
For what? To live without you? Absolutely not.
Ida.
Where you go, I go.
Must get in, please step this way. There is no time, please don't delay. This is the last of me, it must be the word now. Must get in, please step this way. There is no time, please don't delay. This is the last of me, it must be the word now.
There's got to be a place in the lifeboat, Kate. Take it from us.
Without you, Jim, I don't want to be a widow before I'm tried.
Oh, going to be a ladies' maid. Ladies' maid in America.
This boat needs 2 men at the oars. You, Mr. Fleet.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
You, Stoker.
Barrett, sir.
Mr. Barrett, can you row a boat?
I don't know, sir. I never tried.
I can row, sir. I was a fisherman by trade.
Well, then get in, man. Hurry.
That's I will, sir. Thank you, sir. Sorry, mate.
Take care of yourself, mate.
Alice, get into the boat.
No, Edgar, no, I'm so sorry about all the things.
Do as I say, damn it.
No! I love you!
Why'd you give up your seat, lad? You'll never find a place now.
He's a passenger, isn't he? They're the ones to be paying our wages.
Yours to keep.
as I say goodbye, and keep your image in my memories. I and all this love of ours will soar. Come dawn or danger, we'll meet tomorrow and have each other evermore. Give us tomorrow and another hour. Let our reunion come within our power. And one more chance to make us start, that we may live on as we want.
Say you love me as I kiss your eyes. Let one brief moment make eternal time. If tomorrow is not distant, let this embracing replace forever. Keep us
Are you cold, Mama?
Lately, I'm always cold.
Come. Let me blow on your fingers.
Save your breath.
What for?
Mr. Strauss.
Mr. Hedges?
Mrs. Strauss, a glass of champagne, perhaps?
Champagne? Why? Do you think we have something to celebrate?
I brought the Cristal 1898. It's the last bottle left.
My goodness, it would be a shame to open it.
Madame, under the circumstances, I believe it would be a shame not to.
Won't you join us for a glass, Mr. Hedges?
Oh, later perhaps, sir. I still have my regular passengers to attend to. May I just say that it's been a great pleasure serving you both over the years. Oh, sir.
Mr. Hedges.
No, no.
To us?
Who else? You know, Papa, you are still a good-looking fella.
I would have to be to keep such a beautiful wife. Still, the way I love you still lives in my heart.
After all of the years we've been together,
holding our love still, the way you move me still
mine, whispered the words, I will. I loved you then, and I love you still.
No one else could play your role. Forever know my mind.
True companion of my soul, I won't turn from you. I learn from still through fortune's changes. Still, always we've known that the promise we made kept us as one and will. I loved you then, and I love you.
The boats have all gone, it seems.
I can still see my wife. I told her I'd be following.
Only thing you could do.
Mine actually believed it. Of course, she is only 19.
Death rarely occurs to the young, nor does anything else for that matter.
Rather a pity, actually. It was a terribly good crossing up to now. So many agreeable people.
A few too many climbers, I thought. Lately, I've noticed that anyone with a few $1 million considers himself rich.
Is it possible, do you think, that we have this coming?
The hell you say?
For God's sakes, Benjamin, what have we ever done?
I can't help but think of something Balzac once wrote. He said, "Behind every great fortune, there lies a great crime." So let's confess it. Who wants to start?
That water looks colder than a polar bear's keister. And we're about to be up to it in ours. Edgar Bean, hardware.
J. Yates, gambler.
Sounds like interesting work.
How about a game of two-handed stud to pass the time?
Sure. Well, why not?
I warn you, I cheat.
That's okay. I wasn't gonna pay you anyway.
So that was your wife you were saying goodbye to then?
Almost. We were going to be married when we arrived in New York.
Yeah. I was to be married when I got back to England.
Seems like we're both going to wind up bachelors.
Could be worse, sir.
Really? How?
At least we're not making any widows, are we?
Good point. What would you gentlemen say to a good stiff drink?
I'd say one won't be nearly enough.
All 20 boats have been launched, Captain.
Thank you. You have a remarkably sunny disposition, boy. How old are you?
14, sir.
I was a cabin boy at 14. What are you called?
Edward, sir.
Really? So am I.
All of the ladies in first class, sir, except for one, are safely away.
Thank you, Mr. Duchess.
I'm afraid most of the gentlemen we know are still aboard. There's no hope, I suppose. I see. Who could have imagined it? Everyone said she was unsinkable.
Mr. Dismay was fond of boasting that Titanic was her own lifeboat.
That must have been before he used one to save his own skin.
More than anything, the man wanted a legend. Well, now, By God, he's got one.
Captain, I want you to know I take full responsibility. I was ranking officer on the bridge at the time of... Well, if I were a fit master, sir, I'd have rammed the iceberg head on. We'd have staved the bow, perhaps lost a few people. But the ship would have survived.
I'm sure you did what you thought best at the time, Mr. Murdoch.
You expected more of me, Captain. You had every right. But your expectations were misplaced.
The truth is, I've been uncommonly lucky. In my 43 years at sea, I've served on them all of the White Star ships. And in all that time, I have never been in, nor even seen a shipwreck or any other calamity worth speaking of.
Thousands on board, each in his class. You are the master of all that must pass. Yours to set course, yours to command. You hold our souls in the palm of your hand. You hold our souls in the palm of your
I declare this vessel lost. From now on, it's every man for himself.
Just a cursory look at the blood transfused, just the weaknesses that we have missed. How the water poured in, a 300-foot gash caused the bow to flood and to list. Then it filled to the top of separate watertight compartments and began to overflow, because the walls in between the compartments are too low. She's only sinking because these bulkheads stop a deck too low. Here's a thought. Take a line and extend up the walls to the brink. It's just a small redesign, but when it's done, then I know she can't sink. Like this, and then like this, and like this, and then like this.
Mr. Andrews, aren't you going to make a go of it? Mr. Andrews!
The ship will start to plunge beneath the surface, the water lapping at our feet. Down sinks the bow, up flies the stern to the sky. The panicked people in retreat. 1,000 founder climb up toward the aft deck. They'll cling there desperately like bees to a hive. There they'll hold fast, doomed to the last, lost and abandoned and all still alive. A few of them will hang there from the railings as one by one they drop away. More than 250 feet they will fall, and after that I cannot say. I will not say. The rest in swarms will overrun the boat deck, and they'll lose all sense of right and wrong. It will be every man for himself, all right. The weak thrown in with all the strong. First class and third and second will mean nothing, and sheer humanity alone will prevail. One single class
harsh and crass. That's what will come of the world that sets sail. Autumn, shall we all meet in the autumn? Shall we all meet in the autumn?
One moment, the ship was there, and the next, she was gone.
There were over 1,000 poor souls floundering in the freezing water.
We wanted to go back for him, of course, to pick him up.
But they'd have swamped us. Then none of us would have survived. The sound they made was deafening. Like there was a whole football stadium out there in the dark somewhere. And then, after about a half an hour, it just stopped.
I'm ashamed to say I was relieved.
I'll hear those voices for the rest of my life.
Why shouldn't I have taken that place in the lifeboat? It would have gone empty.
There were more than 450 empty seats in the lifeboat.
It was so very cold.
The women were so brave, alone in the dark in the middle of the ocean.
Only I'd seen that iceberg before it was too late.
If only they hadn't kept increasing the speed.
If only the Californian had heard my call. I stayed with the key till the end. They could have saved every man, woman, and child. Oh.
We were only 95 miles from dry land.
When dawn came, we could see ice everywhere. Everything was bathed in pink, and there were thousands of deck chairs floating on the water.
And to all of them poor women and children in the third class who never even made it to the boats.
All 50 bellboys, none more than 15 years old, went to their deaths without a whimper.
And all the musicians who kept on playing autumn, right to the very end.
With only 711 survivors, 1,517 souls had lost their lives.
Including the man I call my husband. And my husband.
And my husband.
And my husband.
And my husband.
In a matter of only minutes, the largest moving object on Earth had totally disappeared.
Fare thee well. May the Lord who watches all watch over thee. May God's heaven be your blanket as you softly sleep. Softly
mankind attempts to fabricate great works and most magnificent and impossible. As it stands, the mountains of stone, a pyramid, flying buttresses alone, a wall of light. Chapel ceiling screaming one man's ecstasy, one man's ecstasy. On the Duomo, the aqueducts of Rome,
Mr. Pittman.